4 दिसंबर 2022 द हिंदू करंट अफेयर्स हैं। फर्स्ट है कि आर एलिफेंट्स एंडेंजर्ड। इंडिया इज होम टू नियरली 60% एशियन एलिफेंट्स and the last count of the species in 2017 had put the number at 29,962, near about 30,000. While the number of elephants in India has increased in the past few years, the species is listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List on threatened species and Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. What is the rhino population? The population of the one-horned rhino was about a dozen when Kaziranga became a protected area in 1905. According to the State of Rhino Report 2022, the poor sighted herbivores number in Kaziranga is an estimated 2613, more than 65% of its total population of 4014 across 11 habitats in India and Nepal. A decade ago, the rhinos population in these domains was 2454. A section of conservationists say the focus is too much on the rhino, but agree this has made other animals in its domains a beneficiary. The number of tigers, for instance, has increased in Assam at a rate higher than elsewhere in India. A 2010 count said Kaziranga has the highest density of tigers, 32.64 per 100 square kilometer in the world. Next, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change launched Project Elephant in 1992 to ensure the long-term survival of elephants in their natural habitats. The number of elephant reserves in India is 32, with the latest addition being the Agastyamalai Elephant Reserve in 2022. Elephant corridors, linear narrow habitat linkages which allow elephants to move between secure habitats, are crucial for conservation. So far, about 101 elephant corridors have been identified in the country, which need to be secured for conservation of elephants. Next, what is the tiger population in India? Every 4 years, India carries out a census of the tiger population across India. The latest estimate put the tiger population at 2967, near about 3,000. How did the numbers increase? The consistent implementation of the Project Tiger since 1973, whereby dedicated tiger reserves were established in India, as well as anti-poaching measures, have played a significant role in tiger conservation. India has 53 tiger reserves, with the latest being added early this year. However, rising tiger numbers have meant that nearly half the tigers are now outside designated protected zones, that led to increasing instances of human-animal conflict. Why has the Supreme Court sought an initiative like Project Tiger to save the critically endangered bird, that is great Indian bustard? How are power transmission lines a great threat to the species? ठीक है, तो हाईलाइट है, 7th हाईलाइट है कि द सुप्रीम कोर्ट आस्क्ड द गवर्नमेंट वेदर अ फोकस्ड अप्रोच समथिंग लाइक प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर कैन बी टेकन अप फॉर सेविंग द क्रिटिकल एंडेंजर्ड ग्रेट इंडियन बस्टर्ड. What is endangering the bird? Hearing petitions highlighting deaths of the great Indian bustard due to power transmission lines, a special bench of the Apex Court led by the Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud directed Chief Secretariat of the Gujarat and Rajasthan to undertake and complete a comprehensive exercise within 4 weeks to find out the total length of the transmission lines in question and the number of the birds diverters required. This is not the first time that the Supreme Court has intervened in the conservation of the great Indian bustard. In an earlier order in April 2021, the Supreme Court has directed the authorities to convert the overhead cables into underground power lines where feasible within a period of 1 year, and that till such time diverters would have to be hung from existing power lines. Like other species of bustards, the great Indian bustard are large bird standing about 1 meter tall and weighing about 15 to 18 kilogram. The great Indian bustard are not great flyers and have wide sideways vision to maximize predator detection, but the species' frontal vision is narrow. These birds cannot detect power lines from far, and since they are heavy flyers, they fail to maneuver across power lines within close distances. A study by the Wildlife Institute of India in 2020 recorded 6 cases of the great Indian bustard mortality due to power line collisions in Thar from 2017 से 2020. Power line collision in Thar from 2017 से 2020. ठीक है. What steps have been taken? Listed in the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 in Appendix 1 of the sites as critically endangered of the IUCN Red List. The great Indian bustard enjoy the highest protection both in India and globally. The earliest estimates show the population was about 1260 in 1969 but has declined by 75% in the last 30 years. Historically, the great Indian bustard population was distributed among 11 states in western India, but today the population is confined mostly to Rajasthan and Gujarat. Small populations are found in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. The overall population of the great Indian bustard totals 150 across the country, which includes about 120 birds in Rajasthan. Along with the attempts to mitigate impacts of the power transmission lines on the great Indian bustard, steps have been taken for conservation breeding of the species. The objective of the habitat improvement and conservation breeding of the great Indian bustard, an integrated approach, is to build the captive population of the great Indian bustard and to release the chicks in the wild. The initiative is likely to take 20 to 25 years. Are there other threats to the great Indian bustard? According to scientists, the great Indian bustard are slow breeders and they build their nests on the ground. The species have also been subjected to hunting and egg collection in the past. There also has been a decline in prevailing habitat loss as dry grasslands have been diverted for other use. Experts also warn of pesticide contamination, an increase in population of free-ranging dogs and pigs along the native predators, putting pressure on nests and chicks. While most of the population of the species is confined to the Jaisalmer Desert National Park, wildlife enthusiasts believe that more areas outside the protected area must be made suitable for the species. A conservation effort like Project Tiger may not work for a large bird of an arid region that can always fly out of the protected area. Experts are calling for community-centric conservation of the species.